Shalom. Okay, do any of you guys know at least one woman, at least one, and I know there's multiple, but I'm just saying at least one woman who just goes off at the drop of a dime, like just always angry, loud, just boisterous and loud, and just always, and even if they're not loud, but like the little things you say to them just pisses them off, and they just blow up and they just throw a tantrum and just go all over the place. Does anybody know a woman like that? Or maybe it's you. Just saying, sometimes we gotta take a look in the mirror, okay? All right, so I don't know what I'm gonna call this video today, but here's what I'm talking about today, okay? For those of you who know a woman who is just always angry, or multiple, listen, some of us have that big mama in the house. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Martin Lawrence played her in all the movies, okay? You got that really big, overweight woman in the house. She's always loud and just angry, cursing everybody out, and neighbors. She don't have a husband because she can't keep one, unfortunately. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny here, but this is reality. Because she's just dominating, just this dominant force. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell y'all what that is, guys. I'm gonna tell y'all, and this is not funny. I'm gonna tell y'all what this is. Some of y'all know a woman like that. It doesn't have to be some big woman in the house. It doesn't have to be a big mama. It could be your sister, your older sister, your younger sister, your auntie, your mom, you. Okay? But this woman who is just angry, or just this spirit is always just miserable. Just miserable. You know what I mean? Not a nice spirit at all. Here's the deal. A lot of our women are suffering from estrogen dominance. Estrogen dominance. What am I talking about? Hormonal imbalance, guys. Hormonal imbalance. Nobody tells us about these things. The doctors don't. Maybe they don't know, or they just don't want to tell you. Okay? But people don't really talk about these things, and it's real. Okay? It's real. Estrogen dominance is hormonal imbalance. That's what it is. Is when your entire system is just out of whack. Okay? And I'm going to tell you what hormonal imbalance is and where it comes from. Okay? What you're eating. What you're eating. All this meat is filled with synthetic hormones. You know the chicken. You know the chicken is filled with hormones. You guys know that. The beef, the turkey, all of it is filled with hormones. And those things are not natural for our body. And believe it or not, when you eat these meats, the milk, the cheese, it's going to disrupt our body. And when the body is disrupted, the brain also gets disrupted. No one think about this stuff. No one think about it. You just eat and that's it. But unfortunately, what you are eating is also messing with the function of the body and the function of the brain. Okay? And that's why we're all over the place. All over the place. You know what I mean? You talk to some woman and they just angry and frustrated. And listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Years ago when I was younger, right? I was in my 20s, and I was on my way. I'll never forget this day. I was on my way to the mall, and I was walking down the block to take a bus. And it was that time of the month. So I was walking down the block, and I suddenly found myself crying, just crying for no reason. And I was confused. I'm like, why the hell am I crying? What the hell? I couldn't figure out why I was crying, but I was crying. I was walking to the bus stop and I was crying. And back then I had no idea why I was crying, because nothing happened. I was just crying for no reason. Granted, it was that time of the month, but still, I just couldn't figure out why I was crying, but tears was running down my cheeks. I was like, what the hell? But now I understand. Back then I was eating horribly. I was drinking milk, eating cookies and sandwiches with cheese and all that crap, and a whole, barbecue this and whoo-wee, boy. But anyway, yeah, that was very confusing for me, let me say, okay? Very, very confusing. So, unfortunately, guys, when you have too much estrogen in the system, from all the pesticides in the food, all the herbicides in the food, all the growth hormones that they're putting in the meat, sadly, you start to get the weight gain and the mood changes, right? And this messes with the brain. It messes with the receptors in the brain. Yes. When we're not eating right. And then because we're not eating right, we're not getting enough nutrients. So that's also throwing the body off balance here. Listen, do you know that when the Most High said that we should eat our herbs, right? Plant foods, right? There's a reason behind that. These plant foods provide natural, vital nutrients that our body and the brain needs to function on a daily basis. And when we're not eating these things, when we're not putting these things in the body, what do you think is going to happen? The body is thrown off balance. The brain is thrown off balance. The reproductive organs, the reproductive system is thrown off balance because we're not getting what the Most High told us to put in there. We're not getting it. We're not getting it. Some of us have it available, but we just ignore it. We don't want to take it because mommy didn't give it to us and we're not used to it and blah, 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 blah. You know, there comes a time when you grow up and you change. Okay? There comes a time in your life when you get older, the Most High give you some knowledge and you gain some knowledge and you learn something and you incorporate that into your life. Right? So how do you fight estrogen dominance in the body? How do you get rid of that? Because we really need to talk about this. I know I'm not trying to be funny here, but I mean, I have a long list of females that I know that is just messed up. I know you guys know some female, somebody who is just off balance, just the mood swings, something is going on, but they just don't know why. Okay. The body is disrupted. So how do we get this all back together? How? Okay. Number one, we got to get rid of the stuff that is feeding the body these synthetic hormones. Estrogen dominance is the amount of it's overproduction of estrogen in the body, synthetic estrogen that is coming from the food you're eating, the meat, and so on and so forth. So let me say this: the body produces natural estrogen. Okay, the body produces that, but unfortunately, the synthetic estrogen that you're eating, that you're getting from your chicken, your beef, your eggs, your just whatever food you're eating, those are synthetic estrogen, and what it's doing is they're dominating the natural estrogen that the body created, and so your body no longer have the natural phytoestrogen. Phyto, you guys know what phyto is? It's plant. Phyto means plant, okay? So the body needs phytoestrogen to function properly, right? But most of us don't eat plant foods, right? We eat plant-based food, which is really not plant. It's just some processed food from plants. Some of us don't even know what's in it, right? So when you're not having enough phytoestrogen, which is, again, phyto means plant, all right? When you're not having enough phytoestrogen, and you're having too much synthetic estrogen, what do you think is going to happen? So that's the problem here, guys. The problem is that black women, and that's all I care about, black women, okay? Black women are not having enough plant foods in their diet, right? Not enough phytoestrogen. And they get up and it's chicken and beef and turkey and pork and blah, 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 and eggs and canned foods and all this milk and cheese and cereal and blah, 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 right? All of that is dominating the natural estrogen that the body creates. And because we're not eating plant foods, phytoestrogen, we're not getting that in there. Now you have an overabundance of synthetic estrogen in the body. And so you wonder why you're running around crazy and just yelling and screaming at everybody. Some of y'all have, now don't get me wrong, some of y'all might have somebody in the house who's just driving you nuts, okay? Just a nuisance, just driving y'all nuts in the house. We're not talking about that. Y'all need, I can't help y'all with that. Maybe you just, you know, he needs, or he or she needs prayer, okay? You know, do a fast for him or her, all right? I can't help y'all with that. So some of us might have some crazy person driving us crazy. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the person who is just angry all the time and don't even know why, okay? And sometimes there's parasites in the system as well. We're going to talk about that in another video, okay? But we're talking today about hormonal imbalance and what it does to the personality, the mood, and how it affects our daily life, okay? How we interact with our spouses, our friends, our sisters, our brothers, all right? This is a serious issue, okay? So you need to incorporate more plant foods into your diet, guys. And seriously, this is a you know, you got to make some changes if you want to, I mean, if you want to stay healthy, you want, you know, you got to make some changes. So I had to go and get my so today I'm going to show you guys something that I take, okay? Something that I take. I've been taking this for years. Okay, I've been taking this for years. And this is just one of a combination of herb that I take to balance my hormones, okay? Because this is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. You got to get up and do the things that you need to do to keep the body going, to keep the brain going, to keep, you know, the system functioning well. All right, so this right here, I don't know if you guys can see it. All right, I'm going to tell you what it's called. This is called, can you see that? This is called Chaste tree berries. Poured some in this little thing here so you guys can see it. See, these are little dried berries there. You guys see that? I don't know if you guys can see that. See, these are little berries. All right, and I take these. I used to buy them in the tinctures, and then I started making my own tinctures, and then I just, you know, so what I do is I buy the raw herb and I make my own tinctures. I have an old bottle here of a tincture that I had. I don't have any left in there, but I'm just showing you guys what it looks like in the tincture form. I don't buy tinctures anymore because they're very expensive, okay? And a sister don't got no money to be spending on these expensive tinctures, so I make my own. Thank you very much. Okay? So this is just one of the tinctures that are sold. So it does come in tincture form. Like I said, I can't afford it. Okay? And so what I do is I make my own tinctures, or tea. Steep it on the stovetop, make some tea, and I drink it. And so I take this in a formula. I take that in a formula. Okay, a formula is something that has a combination of different herbs. Okay, in this case, this would be a formula for the female hormonal issues and the reproductive system. Okay, and this formula is also obviously what is used for PCOS, because when you are having these type of hormonal issue, 9 times out of 10 you're suffering from PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Okay, that's what it is. All right, I don't have that issue, but I take these things to prevent that issue. That's the point. That's the whole entire point of this. I don't have the issue and I don't want it. Okay, so that's why I take this. All right, so I have this herb here, and you know, sometimes it's hard for me to remember the things that I want to say, so I write it down sometimes. So okay, so chaste tree berries increase the production of a brain hormone called the luteinizing hormone. Okay, and this hormone allows for progesterone production in the ovaries. That's what this does. Hello. Okay, it balances the hormones. Balance the hormones, and it just calms your behind down and stop you from going crazy. Okay, so I'm just saying, sisters, this, and there's another herb called motherwort that's also good for you elder. I always talk about this herb for you elders that are going through menopause. Motherwort, look it up. Motherwort. Okay, motherwort. That's also good to, you know, bring the hormones back together. All right, so chaste tree berries, that's what it's called. Chaste tree berries is one of the best herb, guys, to bring balance back to the hormones. Okay, if you guys are having hormonal imbalance, and they have I mean, I don't suggest you ask your doctors for it because I don't trust them. But if you go to one of these people who practice natural remedies, like a certified herbalist, they have a natural cream also that they use to put on certain part of the body that also helps to bring the hormones back together, back into balance. Okay, but I cannot say this enough. You will never be able to get rid of this problem unless you change your diet. Your diet is the key here. You can't get up every day and feed the body the things that are causing you to have this problem in the first place. If synthetic hormones from dairy and cheese and meat is what's causing you to have estrogen dominance, and you get up every day and you're eating dairy, milk, cheese, meat, what's the point? You never get rid of this problem. So you got to get rid of the things that are causing the problem in order to fix the problem. Okay, so once again, you want to fix hormonal imbalance, you got to get rid of the things that are causing hormonal imbalance. Too much meat. And just to listen, if you can't get locally grown chicken, you know, maybe somebody is raising some of these supermarket like Trader Joe's, or not talking about the local supermarket, but maybe places like Trader Joe's or your Whole Food, they do have chicken, fishes, and so on and so forth. I don't mess with beef. I'm not chicken is ugh. But if you love meat, all I'm saying is these places do get some of their meat from local farmers who grow meat without the hormones and stuff. Just little, sometimes you if you go to places like Pennsylvania and upstate, you do have these little farmers who have small farms, and they grow their chickens and stuff on that farm, and they're not mass producing their chicken, you see, because they're small farmers, so they don't have to feed the chicken to try to get the chicken big, and like them big mass produce people. So try to get your meat from places like Trader Joe's, who get their chicken from local farmers, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, it does help a little. All right, in the summer times, you might, if you have to get into your car and drive a little out of town to go to a local farmer's market and get your fresh fruits and vegetable, that's also a good thing. All right, it helps. And guys, just cut down on the meat, get rid of the cheese and the milk, for God's sake. I know people are going to come on this video and say, what a Mosta, the scripture said we should have milk and cheese. Well, keep having your milk and cheese. Keep having your milk and cheese, and keep being sick. Keep being sick, okay? And don't know what to do, and then you go to the doctor and get your pills and your medication. If that's what you know, come on. Where's the discernment here? We're not in our land anymore. We're in the capture's land. Hello? We're in the capture, what we call capture land in Jamaica. All right? That's where we are. We're captives right now. And we're not eating what we're supposed to be eating. All these chickens and cows and whatever, they're filled with chemicals. They're filled with chemicals. So we can't just go around saying, well, the scripture said we're supposed to eat, cows. Well, go ahead and eat your cows. It's filled with hormones. It's filled with hormones. For God's sake, But anyway, so I want you guys to go and research this herb, okay? Don't take it from me. Go and research. Here it is. Chaste berries. There you go. Chaste berries. It's also called Vitex, all right? There's a name right there. Vitex. If you don't know what it is, do some research on your own. Don't say Sister Malika said it, Do your research. This here is one of the best herb that is used to bring the hormone back into balance, guys. And so I take it. I take it all the time. You don't have to get up and take it every day for the rest of your life. But if you are suffering from, hormonal imbalance, you need to start on this regimen. But not before you do a flush. Not before you do a cleanse. Cleanse the system first. You can't be putting a remedy on top of a toxic environment. You got to clean up some of that toxin first, and then you get this in the system. All right. And I know you guys are going to ask me where I got this. Okay. I got this. Guys, listen, I think I said this in one of my videos. What I do before I buy herbs, what I like to do is I like to sample herbs in different places first before I buy them, right? Y'all know I know my herbs, right? So what I do is I buy little samples of herbs from different places, and then I test them out, right? I make tinctures with them, I make teas with them, and I see which, I test out the potency of these herbs to see which one is potent, okay? And so far, I can tell you, I get my herbs from 2 different places. This one of the places that I get my herbs from, and their herbs are very potent. Okay, so here you guys are gonna ask me, Sister Malika, where do you get the herbs from? I love you guys. So this is where I get my herbs from. Okay, there's a website called Grassroot Botanicals. Grassroot Botanicals. I don't know, maybe I'll put it somewhere down in the thing, down below the box, the description box. Y'all know I'm not familiar with all this stuff. But I am so old school. All right, so I'll put the link down there, or the website, or the whatever it is, or I'll write it down somewhere. So yeah, Chaste berries. There it is. Hormonal imbalance. If you're gonna start out taking it, start out with maybe 2 cups a day. Okay, when I first started taking this years ago, I was taking 3 cups a day. All right, I was taking 3 cups a day because I was having issues with hormones, girl. Okay, so I was actually taking it with as a formula. This with, I believe there was like about 7 or 8 other herbs in there, or 6 or 7 other herbs. I don't remember how many was in there, but this was in there. What was in there? I'm trying to remember what else was in there. It was like a whole bunch of different herbs. I think there was stinging nettle, red clover, donquai root. There was a lot of herbs in there, but it was a combination of all these herbs that are put together to bring the hormones back together. Okay, at the time I was in the early stage of PCOS, believe it or not. Yes, I was in the early stage of PCOS. I remember I went to the doctor and they said, you have these little cysts growing on the uterus. I was like, what? But then they say, oh, don't worry, this is normal, this happens to a lot of women across America, this is no problem. You see how these doctors, you see how wicked they are? Isn't that wicked? Don't worry. You got something growing on your uterus and they telling you not to worry? Anyway. And not one of them told me about any of this stuff. Not one of them ever sat me down and talked to me about estrogen dominance and hormonal imbalance. None of these doctors talk to you about, have you guys noticed this? Like, none of these doctors talk to you about any of this stuff. They just tell you it's normal and they send you home with some pills. Unbelievable. But anyway, so I'm going to stop the video here because I don't want to ramble on. But yeah, guys, so I think that's just about it. I just wanted to talk to you about this one herb. And this video, you know, I wanted to do this video because I was just, you know, sat down and I was just thinking about just a lot of people that I know, a female in particular, with just this attitude, just this negative vibe, you know what I mean? And it could be your grandma. Listen, a lot of us have grandma who we love dearly, love them, right? But we don't, this grandma who's like a raging bull in the family, just raging bull, right? Oh, that estrogen dominant. She's just dominating everybody. She's loud and just, you know what I mean, just cursing everybody out. She don't have her husband because the husband, I don't know what happened to him, right? She's single. She's the raging bull in the house, just loud, cursing everybody out, just always angry, and you just can't figure out why. Oh, that's just you know, Big Mama. That's just how she is. You know what I mean? That's not normal. That's not normal. There's nothing normal about that, and there's nothing funny about it. Okay? A lot of these elder women have this issue. A lot of them, and they don't even know because they have no knowledge of health. Let me say that again. A lot of these elder women that we refer to as the big mama of the house, you know, the person who runs the house, the person we love dearly, they live to be 100, right? Just raging bull all the time. A lot of them are suffering from estrogen dominance, imbalanced hormone, and they don't even know it. They don't even know. They don't know. And everybody just think it's normal because there's no knowledge of health anywhere. Nobody to tell them why they're behaving like that. It's not funny. It's not normal, okay? So if you have an elder woman in the house who's going through this, I don't know, maybe they might be set in their ways and they don't want to listen, they don't want to change their ways. I don't know. So, some of these elders, they're set in their ways, and then I don't want to hear nothing. They've been drinking their cereal or their tea with their, milk, and eating their cheese and eating a whole bunch of chicken and this and pork all their life, and they're not about to change. Hey, but yeah. So if you have a grandma in the house and she's a little receptive to certain things, maybe you want to pass this video on to her, okay? And maybe you want to introduce some Chaste tree berries to the poor lady, all right? It'll help her, trust me. But she got to get rid of that nasty diet she's been eating, all right? So, shalom, guys.